Pop star Sabrina Carpenter, who I once heard described as that former child star who wears no pants and likes to get railed, released what may or may not be the cover of her new album on the weekend. And if you're a woman on the internet, you are legally obliged to have an opinion about it. So here we are.
Okay.
The photo is of her, if you haven't seen it, in a short black dress and heels, kneeling on all fours with a man standing in front of her. You can't see his face.
Could be a woman in trousers.
Oh, could be. This person who looks like a man in suit pants is pulling her hair as if they're pulling.
He's got a fistful of hair.
A fistful of hair, and it's like he's pulling her up while she looks at the camera hornily.
Kind of like a dog on a leash.
Yeah. And then the next photo is of an actual dog with a like a tag, dog tag saying man's best friend, which is the name of her album, I think. Anyway, she also released her first single from the album called Manchild, which sounds like this. Now, that film clip is all about her hitchhiking in some like sort of denim underpants and with all these unsuitable guys. And look, Sabrina Carpenter, her brand is sort of about sassy girlishness, a bit like Polly Pocket meets Brat Dolls.
Yep, sexy baby.
Sexy baby.
Yeah.
And what she does is actually some very funny things with her lyrics. She uses humour a lot in her music. So my favourite lyrics from Manchild is, why so sexy if so dumb, and how survive the earth so long? If I'm not there, it won't get done. I choose to blame your mum. Now, the question, of course, is when is a photo about female submission subversive and ironic, and when is it just a bit yuck? Some people are shouting, don't kink shame, let the girl be submissive if she wants to be. Some are shouting, this looks like domestic violence, glamour porn. Others are shouting, wait until the whole album and cover art comes out, don't judge too soon. And of course, just like when any woman does a controversial thing, some people are calling it the death of feminism. So are we all just falling for rage bait? I'm so tired. Yes, it is rage bait. Talk us through.
I made the mistake of publicly talking about this a bit too early on, and I got a lot of hate for it.
What position did you take?
I took the position of I've been a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan. I've loved everything she does. She even does like sex positions on her stage when she's performing. Still a big fan of that. When I saw this artwork, it deeply upset me. And I was trying to figure out what about it made me so upset. And I think it's quite straightforward to me. I think her doing that position, I would be fine with. It's the man in the photo that has made me really upset. And I think it's gone from her constantly saying like being female empowered and having all of these songs that are pretty much like, don't deal with shitty men, you're better than that. And it would always contrast with what she was wearing and the look she'd put out there. And I'd still get it. Like I still thought it was quite empowering. But then this album cover is not empowering to me. It just feels degrading.
Here's my question, because the criticism is pandering to the male gaze and she's on all fours. Have you ever met a male Sabrina Carpenter fan who's not a queer man? Like, is she really pandering to the straight male gaze? Because I don't know any of them who listen to her music. Like, Sabrina Carpenter and her team know who her audience is.
Yeah, but we have internalized the male gaze so much as women that that's not a new thing. So, you know, Britney Spears didn't have a lot of straight male fans, but she would wear a little sexy schoolgirl uniform. It's been that way since the dawn of time that we have, as straight women, we've internalized what the male gaze is. It's like the Kardashians. Men don't buy the Kardashians' products, but they are very male gaze coded. So this is, to me, very male gaze coded. But some people say, well, what about if submission is your thing? What about…
See, and to that I say, I don't think there is anything submissive about Sabrina Carpenter. If you watch her shows on stage, as you say, Em, it's about sex positions. Her lyrics are about
her being in control.
And even this, I think there's more to it. I I think it's a bit of a cop-out when celebrities are like, this is only one bit. And it's like, no, this does stand alone as a cultural text.
I think we can criticize this without hearing the whole album.
I completely agree. And if we do discover that it zooms out and that man has the face of Sabrina Carpenter, you still baited us like you did.
Well, it's clickbait, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. But I know that she's on all fours and stuff, but the name of the album being Man's Best Friend, which is a dog, which is a bitch. Like, is she playing with bitch? And is she playing with, and a lot of the lyrics as well, is she kind of meant to be subverting a lot of what we think about the submissive woman? And I can see that being playful and fun. In the same way, I was watching the Alex Cooper documentary, and like when she talks about blowjobs on stage.
The Gluck Gluck 9000.
Exactly. She's not pandering to the male gaze. Just because women are doing something sexual or talking about sex doesn't mean they're trying to get railed, as the internet says. And there's this term.
Well, sorry, when the internet was talking about being railed is not a negative thing. Being railed doesn't imply necessarily a lack of consent, to my understanding. It's more that she's very sex positive.
Yes.
So hence they're doing the sex positions in her concerts. And that's been one of these things that hopefully there's a long history of child stars trying to shock their fans out of seeing them in a different way.
The Disney star sort of 180.
Yeah, and maybe this is going to be the death knell in women saying, or mothers particularly saying, I took my child to the Sabrina Carpenter concert or the, Chapel Roan concert or whatever, and she swore, and I don't like that. And it's like when we started seeing, it was kind of around Taylor Swift, that we started seeing female pop stars as something for little girls. And probably that's not a good thing.
But I still think she has some sort of responsibility here because she is selling tickets to young girls.
Yeah, but it's not like she's not a wiggle. Like, she's not trying to, if people want to bring their young girls, and the people that buy tickets for young girls are their mothers, that's up to the parents. She's not parenting a generation of children.
Do you think, though, that this image as well, this Sabrina Carpenter aesthetic, which is the blonde, the short, the very made up, has become almost like MAGA coded? Like that, and I'm thinking this with Sydney Sweeney too, is that in Trump's America, when women's rights are being wound back and when women do feel like they are being pushed into an oppressed, submissive position, that this isn't funny anymore, that this isn't fun.
Yeah, that's interesting. Her lyrics don't say that. So in some ways her appearance is a Trojan horse because she looks this way, but then she subverts your expectations because she doesn't sing about being a trad wife.
Not unlike Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Like the same thing where
Good
it's kind of the
comparison,
boobs and but then it's like, do we just, the thing about don't judge an album by its cover or whatever, again, this was released as a cultural text, and maybe the discussion, and if this is even a Trojan horse to just get us all to listen to her music, which is presenting a different image, then I get that. But I do think this is being read differently in an America that feels under threat.
Coming back to when saying straight men aren't fans of Sabrina Carpenter, I agree. I don't think a lot of them are, but they still follow her. Every guy I've dated has followed Sabrina Carpenter on Instagram.
Interesting.
And I do not suggest anyone go down this rabbit hole, but I went down a full Reddit rabbit hole that was connected to a Twitter account that was connected to another subreddit of these men who just get the privilege of looking at this image and making comments like, can't wait to add this to the wank bang.
Oh, I was going to say wank. It's giving
And I'm like,
wank
do you
bang.
think these men care that we're having this discussion on whether this is female empowerment or not? They just get permission to look at a photo like that. And they also get permission from the women around them to say, this is empowering. You can do that.
Bitches love it when you pull their hair. And some do.
And I think that is where the harmful aspect of it comes from.
Yeah, but this is where I struggle. It's not her responsibility. Where is it written that pop stars have to be role models? Who said that to Mick Jagger? Who said that to the Beatles? Like, no one expects that of men.
But in a time, I see what Em's saying, in a time when it does feel like women's rights and autonomy are under threat. If I saw this on a billboard in the US right now, how would I feel?
Yeah.
I would feel like, oh God, that's not helping. Like it doesn't feel in a world of Billie Eilish's and Chapel Roan's and even Charlie
Even the
XCX.
case that's happening with Sean Combs, where it's been alleged, we're seeing footage of him dragging Cassie by the hair to allegedly assault her.
Oh, God,
it's just not the time.
It's not countercultural. It feels cultural. Yeah, right.